It's Kevin here from Sticks and Stones Wood Carving. Today, under the tent, and I think I'm gonna review the birdhouses that we made because I have a couple of questions about them. I said I'd show you guys how to do a door in the back and hollow it out a little bit. So I have a little log over here. Let me see if you guys can see. I already have this started, and I faced it off where I'm gonna put my face. All right, so I'll carve a quick little chainsaw face on there, and then I'm gonna go to the back and I'm gonna show you how to hollow it out just enough so you can get a bird in there, a bird nest, and we'll put a quick back on it so people can just pop the back off and clear the nest out. Okay, so stick around if that's something you're interested in. Hit the subscribe button if you think you'd want to learn more stuff like this, and we'll get right to it and show you how to make a quick birdhouse out of a log. Okay, got the GoPro on. Hopefully you guys can see that. Tilt it down a little bit. Using the battery powered saw for this. We already have the face cleared off. I'm going to show you just a quick way to get a face on here. We covered this in carving a tree before. So I'm just putting a line across for a brow line. I'll just make a nice little shaped nose. Once you get that in, you go to the sides and try and take the nose down a little bit. Rounding it over a little. Undercut it some. It's just a scraping action. You don't have to kill it just because you got a chainsaw, okay? Now we're going to go to the sides over here and take the eyes out a little. About the corner over here, because there's a little divot in the face. There's always that little divot right here on either side, right? So make sure you do that. Your eyes will come out a lot nicer. And your face will look a lot better. Since this is such a small log, I'm doing more scraping than I am cutting, okay? I'm going to angle the nose back a little. Just shaving mostly. This log's kind of stringy, so that's what all those little pieces are. Yeah, so you're getting the idea here. I'm going to separate right here between the eyebrows some. A little V cut. A little eyelid. Okay, you don't have to make the eyes too impressive for this. On the top here. Down like that. This is going to be hair. All right. Now we're going to undercut that a little. And we could give him a mustache or not, just a regular mouth, right? So we want the nose to stick out a little more. You got to take wood out from underneath it. Shave over to the side. Dig the corners in a little. We can give him a little mustache if we want or not, right? It's totally up to you guys how you want your face. I'm going to cut in here to thin these cheeks out a little. That'll kind of set his face back in there a little better. And we can shave this down. Like a little scooping action there to hollow the face down. Let's get it to blend right into the corners here. Okay, now we're ready for a mustache. Notice how I built the mound here first, kind of angled back. Now this right here in the center should be higher than on the sides here. So the mustache will come out a lot nicer and it'll look a lot more realistic. And we undercut here. Clean it up. Sander will clean this up, or a die grinder. Now to really make this pop, I like to take this hair out, or get in there and get some depth. I'm gonna bring some over in here. A couple of little cuts. That's all. Right, we got the makings of our face. Now we're going to drill a hole here with the drill, but before we do that, we have to do the back. This right here we can just kind of clean up or just let it all flow into the bottom of the bark. A couple little S-shaped lines for beard hair. Lazy S's. Sets the cheeks in. take some bark off. Clean it up with the tip of the saw. Okay. Now I can do a lot up here with the Dremel if I really want to make it nicer. If I just want a rustic looking birdhouse, there you go. That's pretty much what they look like. Okay. You get a good view of that. Get close. Okay. Now to the back. If you walk around to the back, you got to make sure about where his mustache is right here. You're going to want to at least make sure that that hole is going to come out pretty even when you drill a hole through there. It's going to be about right here, so I have to make me a hollow spot in here, right, that's dug out. This right here is about where that hole's going to be that I drill in under the mustache, right? So I want this area here to be cut out and hollowed out so I can actually, the nest will sit in there and inside the log, but it's got to be big enough that a bird can get in there. So I'm going to come over here and then make a cut down. Cut down like that. And come across. I'm hoping this log is a little hollow. It was when I cut it off. See this hole? But basically, that's where I need to put a hollow spot. What you do is pretty much crosshatch it and just move the tip of your saw back and forth until you get all that out and as deep as you want. I think it's time to change the battery in my saw. Yep, it is. Hold on a sec. I'm back. I don't know if I mentioned it or not yet, but I did get an email about this, and I promised when I first put the birdhouses on that I would make this video. So I did see your message. I did get your email. Angela, this is for you. All right, mostly you're the one that emailed me about it. So I did receive your message, and this is how you do it. Alright, so we started making our lines straight down. Right. Okay, now you can crosshatch it. Try not to go too deep over here on this side and whack on the sides. You want that line pretty clean. And you can whack these out with a hammer or a chisel. Alright, there's a lot of ways to get these out. Okay, and there I'm going to get my hammer and chisel and whack some of these out. For those of you that need a little more crude technique, if you don't have a chisel, you could use a screwdriver. Sometimes just a hammer takes these off pretty good, see? I'm using a wooden mallet. And if they're not deep enough, see right here, they're not cut too deep, I can always go back in with the saw. This is probably the worst part about doing the birdhouse. Excuse me. Sawdust is getting these getting this hollowed out. If they're not cut deep enough, phew, swallowed some. If they're not cut deep enough, just go back to your saw. I won't lie to you, a big gas saw works much better for this. But right now this is what I'm using. And once you get your chopped off, it's a matter of scraping back and forth. And you just go back and forth. Scraping action is going to work a lot better when you get some of them big chunks out. I might go to my bigger saw to do this and then come back after it's all done, but you get the idea, okay? I'd get a saw with pretty good blade, not a carving bar, and just back and forth, rub it, right? When you get it down to here. Until you get it all hollowed out. It's a little at a time. See how you can literally dig it out, but I like a bigger blade to do this, otherwise I'll be here all day. So that's how you're going to hollow out the back. Once I hollow it out, then we'll go around to the front and I'll show you how to get your hole. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, as you can see, I have this hollowed out in the back. I got my bigger saw and I took the bar, I went back and forth, and cleared it right out real easy, right? Trying to use the one with the carving bars a little much. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back around to the front, try to make this pretty level too on the bottom. I'm not going to build the wooden door for this today because that would just be too long of a video, but I'm going to show you a quick way that you can do this, because I've even put wooden doors on and we got to screw them back in, you know, take them off unscrew them, screw them back in. A lot of people are like, I couldn't get the door off to get the nest out, you know, when you clean out an old nest. So what we're going to do is show you a real easy way that everybody can just clear the nest out as quick as they like. I don't care if you're old, if you're young, if you have a problem, you know, with your hands, it's a lot easier to do. All right, so everybody can own one of these birdhouses and won't complain about trying to remove the old nest and put the door back on for the birds for the next year. Okay, so that'll be easy, and I will show you that after we drill the hole. I'm going to come around to the front. I'm going to use just a spade bit here. Okay, I'm going to put it in right here, and right where the tip of that is, you see the top of that? I don't want that to go too high up into the mustache, but I want it to be about where his mouth is going to be. All right, so I'm probably going to have to put the camera down for this, but just to give you an idea what it would look like. You're definitely going to need 2 hands for this. There we go. And now I have to tighten it. So you get to see where the hole is. I'm going to need a bigger drill, but you see how that's going to end up the mouth? All right, so you want to take the tip of this. I'm holding the camera here. That tip right there, and you want to make sure that it pretty much lines up with your mustache where you want it and where the mouth is going to start. Otherwise it's going to look funky. Okay, so let me get this hole drilled, get a bigger power drill. I got a battery powered one. This battery needs to be charged, sorry about that. And I'm going to drill the hole straight through until I punch into where I hollowed out. Okay, and that's how we're going to use that. Okay, I will be back. Okay, I drilled the hole right here. When you get inside, you can see how deep that is. Okay, made it a little bit bigger with the chainsaw in the back, and now he's nice and hollowed out. Okay, and there's plenty of room in here. The bird can come in, he can just build his nest here. All we got to do is cover the back so there's no water coming in, and the birds would love to have that as their little home. Okay, what I'm going to do is take the sander and I'm going to clean all this up and maybe do a little bit of detail with the Dremel, and I'll make them look kind of cool. I might even take the chainsaw and slope the top, or I could just leave it the way it is. I might slope it though a little bit so people know it's, you know, a birdhouse. And definitely going to clean it up with the sander though and give them some detail and make the face look kind of neat. So let's go do that. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to make a quick door. This right here is just a piece of rubber. Okay, it's from an old piece of rubber I have found laying around, and it's pretty thick. So what you're going to need is a pair of scissors and some thumbtacks, and it's real easy to just cover the back of that birdhouse, and you can put thumbtacks on to hold it up. Keeps the water out. When you want to change the nest, you just take a couple thumbtacks off, pull the nest out, put the rubber back on, just push the thumbtacks right into the back. I'll show you, it's pretty easy. All you're going to do is cut a square here. All right, so I'm going to cut a square of this, and we'll go put the back on. Then I'm going to sand the birdhouse down, put a little detail on, put a little perch on it, and she's done. Okay, so that's how we're going to put the back on the back on the door on the birdhouse. As you can see, the rubber forms right around. It's real easy to make a nice little back for it. That was all cut out before. Keeps the water out, gives the bird enough to build the nest on it. It's just thumbtacked on. You can pop a thumbtack or two out, take the nest out, push it right back on. Okay, now it's time to clean up our birdhouse and make them look a little more like somebody. Okay, got a little Harbor Freight finger sander here. Let's use that to clean him up quick. As you can see, it's not going to take much to make them look a little bit nicer. Now I can use the Dremel, put a couple eyes in, give them some mustache lines with my chisel if I want. Just do whatever you want with them now. Okay, and we need to drill a hole about here, and we're going to put a little post there for the bird to perch on. Okay, we did some quick eyes. Just kind of did them out with the Dremel. I'm going to take this electric chisel, my Proxon, I'm going to go around and put a little detail on them. Maybe some mustache hair and other things here. Let's see. I clean that up with a little sanding drum, get the face smooth. You should have enough. He should have enough detail now to just hit him with the sanding drum. I might even pop these out with my chisel, a gouge, because I think I'm going to like the eyes better gouged out. Then I'll sand this down with the sanding drum with the Dremel and get all this to blend together, and we have our birdhouse. All for except drilling a hole and putting a post right there, which I usually just use a dowel rod for. Now I can leave him like this, or I could slope the top so he looks like a birdhouse. Okay? And that's how we make the birdhouse, and that's how we put the back on the birdhouse. For those that were asking. There's the birdhouse. Post is in. It's all cleaned up. Back's on. That's pretty much how you do those, guys. That's the finished product. And that's hopefully what we're going to sell this weekend at the market. We'll take them up. And believe me, these things do sell. So hope the video helped you. And I will see everybody in the next video.